Hi everyone, we're going to write the quadratic equation in vertex form by completing the square, and then we're going to graph. And these are the problems I was going to do if I have time. So this is 6, so it's quite a bit. So let's see how far we can go with this. So let's just get started, and we're going to do it by completing the square and doing the steps. So the first thing we're going to do when you do something like this is you're going to move the 11 over. So you're subtracting 11 from both sides. So you get minus 11 equals x squared minus 8x. Now we're going to add our squares. So put a square here, or a box as I call it. Now we're going to take the b part, take half of it. So you should have already watched the previous videos. Half of 8 is 4 squared, and you get 16. So you add 16 to both sides. And then you simplify all this. This is going to be plus 5 equals, and we're going to write a perfect square trinomial. Minus half of 8 is 4. Then all you're going to do is move the 5 back over. So we're basically going to subtract 5 from both sides. And so this is just y equals x minus 4 squared, and we're subtracting the 5. So it's minus 5. So our vertex is going to be 4, negative 5. This opens up, and then we just have to plug in points. So let's go 4, negative 5. Our axis of symmetry is x equals 4. So we go 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your vertex. It's going to open up. So what I want to do is write this equation down again. And this is y equals x squared minus 8x plus 11. And I want to plug in some points. So I think what I'm going to plug in is 0. Because that gives, oh, I can't plug in 0. So let's plug in 1. Let's see what happens at 1 here. So y equals, when x is 1, what's y? So I get 1 squared minus 8 plus 11. So that's going to be negative 7 plus 11 is 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go ahead and draw my axis of symmetry, which is right there. Since I went over 3 here, I'm going to go over 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm just going to graph these 3 points to save time. So when x was 1, we had y is 4. And then I'm going to just kind of connect there. And I have my graph. And this was, what? 4, I forgot, 4, negative 5. All right. The next one we have is this one. So the first step is to move 36 over. So since it was positive, now it's negative on this side. I'm going to go ahead and put my boxes here. I have x squared minus 12x plus box plus square. Now half of 12 is 6, square it, and you get 36. So when you add this side, you just get y. And this is going to be x minus half of 12 is 6 squared. So my vertex is, and this is basically you don't have a y, so you can put 0 here. It's 6, 0. And my axis of symmetry is x equals 6. So here we go. Go over here. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6, 0. All right, and my equation, I need to write that down again. This was y equals x squared minus 12x plus 36. So, let's see what we can put in. Let's put in 5. What happens when we put in 5? See if I can do this. This is going to open up. So we're going to get y equals, I want to know when x is 5, what is y? You have 5 squared minus 60, because 5 times 12 is 60, plus 36. So that gives us 25 plus 36 minus 60. And that's going to be 56 negative 4. How can that be? So let's try again. I'm going to plug in 5. 5 squared is 25. Did I write the equation down right? Yeah. 5 times 12 is 60 plus 36. 25, oh, this is where it is. This is 61 minus 60 equals 1. So 5 goes to 1. That means when I make this symmetric, I put it here. And I'm just going to kind of sketch a graph here. And there it is. Okay, the next one we have is this one. So the first thing I'm going to do is move the 21 over. And I'm going to get y equals, y plus 21 equals. And now what I'm going to do here is factor out a negative. And that's going to be x squared minus 10x. So when you factor out a negative, remember to change this sign right here, because 2 negatives will make a positive if you distribute it back. Take that back out. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add my boxes. So this is going to be y plus 21 equals negative x squared minus 10x plus box. Now, in this case, this is really negative times a positive, so we're really going to subtract negative 1 times the box. So you have to do whatever is outside here. That's negative 1. Now, half of 10 is 5 squared. You get 25. You get 25. So really we're subtracting 25 here. So you have to do that on both sides. You get y minus 4 equals negative x minus half of 10 is 5. Then you rewrite it as y equals negative x minus 5 squared, and you're adding the 4 to both sides. So you're adding the 4. So your vertex is 5, comma 4. This is going to open down, because it's negative. You can put the 1 there if you want. Opens down. And so let me kind of write this out. So 5, comma 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. This is 4. And it's going to open down. So basically what I need is our equation again, which is y equals negative x squared plus 10x minus 21. So I'm going to go ahead and pick 4 here to get a point. So I'm going to let my x be 4. My vertex here was 5, comma 4. And plug in 4. So y equal, I want to know what, when x is 4, what's y? Negative 4 squared plus, that should have been 10x. 10 times 4 minus 21. So we get negative 16 plus 40 minus 21 equals y. So this is going to be negative 37 plus 40, which equals 3. So y equals 3. So when x is 4, y is 3. Now, since my axis of symmetry is x equals 5, I'm going to draw my axis of symmetry. I'm going to plot this point here, and I'm going to go down here. It opens downward, the parabola. Okay? The next one is, okay, y equals 2x squared minus 12x plus 19. So these are getting a little harder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the 19 over. I'm going to factor out a 2 on this side. Basically, I'm just subtracting 19 here. All right, so 2, and I'm going to do the highest common factor, which is going to be x squared minus 6x. Okay? Now, I'm going to do the boxes. So it's going to be y minus 19, or the squares, equals 2 times x squared minus 6x plus the box, or the square. Now, this is really 2 times the square. So on this side, I'm going to write 2 times the box equals that. Now, all we're going to do is take half of 6, the b part is 3 squared, and put the 9. And then we're going to get y minus 19 plus 18 equals 2. And then we're going to write this as a perfect square trinomial, which is x minus half of 6 is 3. Now this equals negative 1. Y minus 1 equals 2 times x minus 3 squared. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So my vertex is 3, 1. My axis of symmetry is x equals 3. It's going to be kind of narrow, and it opens up because it's positive. So 3, 1, and let's do this. 3, 1, which is right there. Opens up. I'm going to draw my axis of symmetry right through the vertex. And I'm going to write down my equation again, which was y equals 2x squared minus 12x plus 19. Now, since this was 3 and this was 1, let me make sure I did that right. Yeah, 3, 1. I'm going to go ahead and plug in 2. This 2 here, and see what my y value would be. So I want to know, I have 3, 1. Where do I go with the 2? So plug in 2 to find your y. So this is 4 times 2 is 8 minus 24 plus 19. Okay, which equals 27. I just added those two first. Minus 24, which equals 3. So 2 goes to 3. 2, 3. I'm just going to make it symmetric on this side with the reflection, and it's going to draw up. Okay. Now the next one. Yes, and I want to do all of these because the last ones are a little harder. So I want to make sure you get this. This is y equals negative 3x squared minus 6x minus 1. So the first thing we're going to do is subtract or add the 1 to both sides. And then on this side, I'm going to factor out a negative 3. And when I do that, I'm going to get x squared plus 2x. Don't forget to change the sign here when you're factoring out a negative. I'm going to go ahead and put my squares in here. But on this side, it's going to be minus 3 times my square, or my box. Because you have to take, when you distribute, that would be negative 3 times whatever we have here. That's what we're really adding to the right side. So half of 2 is 1, and you square it, you get 1. So this side's going to be y minus 2 equals negative 3x. You take this plus 1 squared. Now I'm just going to move the y over, the negative 2 over by adding it to both sides. So that's going to be plus 2. You're just adding 2 to both sides. Like right there. All right. So we have negative 1, 2 as our vertex. And our axis of symmetry is x equals negative 1. We know that this is going to be a stretch because it's going to be thin. And it's also going to open down. The negative means A is negative. So that means it opens down. So here we go. Negative 1, 2. opens down. So here we go. Negative 1 and 2 is right there. And then write the equation. Y equals negative 3x squared minus 6x minus 1. I'm going to draw my axis of symmetry right down here. The x equals negative 1. And I'm going to plug in, I'll probably just plug in 0 because that makes it easier. So I have one point as negative 1, 2. And when I plug in 0, it's very clear when you plug in 0, I'm going to get negative 1. So it's right there. So this means this side's here. It opens down. And there it is. So 0 went to negative 1. Okay, and the last one is the one with the fraction. So let's do that one. Y equals negative 1/2 x squared minus 6x minus 21. Why are the hardest ones always at the end? Okay. Nope, no parentheses here. All right. Okay. So basically I'm going to move the 21 over and I get y equals y plus 21 equals negative 1/2. I'm factoring out a negative 1/2. So that's going to be x squared plus 3x. Okay, now we're going to add the box. So here, on this side, we're going to subtract, I should always leave more room, negative 1/2 times our box. Equals that. Okay, well, half of 3 is 3/2. Then you square it and you get 9/4. So you put that on both sides. So this side is going to be y plus 21 minus 9/8. I just multiplied those two. Equals negative 1/2 times x plus 3/2 squared. All right. So, yeah, why did we do this one? Okay, so I have to add this. So 8 times 21. I'm just going to do it in the calculator because it's the end of the video. So 21 minus 9 divided by 8 equals, math inner. I get 159/8. This is awful. So I get y equals, y plus 159/8 equals negative 1/2 x plus 3/2 squared. And then you move the y over it. I'm not going to bother even graphing this. So negative 1/2 x plus 3/2 squared minus 159/8. I didn't realize how complicated it was. So anyway, our vertex is negative 3/2 and negative 159/8. And our axis of symmetry is x equals negative 3/2. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is solve quadratic equations by using the quadratic formula. And I hope you all have a nice day. Take care.